Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here with us on this Friday morning. We appreciate your viewership. Had another good week and really enjoyed bringing it to you. Try to mix things up between videos and guests and me soloing. So here we are on a Friday already. It seems like the Fridays come pretty fast. But Friday's always a good day of the week. I don't care what kind of job you're in, if that Friday's something special. But anyway, welcome to the show. And let's get started with our weather, brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard, hard-working crew, taking care of everyday comfort needs. How about a high of 78, a low of 66? That's pretty comfortable, isn't it? Do be careful these foggy mornings we've had this week. It's pretty heavy fog. Make sure your lights are on. Every now and then I see a car without lights on. The other morning my lights weren't on. I thought they were automatic, but you just got to double check that. Okay, our water temperature brought to us by Ranter Marketing, Miss Ariel Payne, and her company doing a good job. We're looking at it stayed exactly what it was yesterday, 71.4. Exactly. Okay, river reading brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. We understand what that is now, looking at 1.6, the Apalachicola Bluntstown, and the Choctaw Caribbean 1.0. I'm getting quite a few pictures from the different nature as far as rivers being low and creeks being low. It's been really interesting to watch, especially the Chipotle. I'm going to show you a picture later. A bit of Grantham Sand. Basically, Chipotle is surviving only by the springs coming up through it. No rain whatsoever. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good tides. I mean, low at 750 this morning, high at 909. Good tides only through the weekend and only through Thanksgiving week. Some really good tides. Let's do our fishing game times today, with it being Friday. We're looking at 11:36 to 1:36, right in the middle of the day. One good time. That's really interesting right there. And again, I wrote down about the fog. Marine forecast is going to blow a little bit south at about 10 to 15. Good little breeze right there. It's going to be a nice day for the outdoors. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. You know, a lot of times I talk about catching these redfish up under the bridges, and it's just, it's one of those things that once you learn how to do it, it's good. It's an easy thing to do and a fun thing to do, especially when people coming from out of town want to go fishing with you. Let's go catch a fish. But it's really, catching them at night is sometimes a lot easier. First of all, less traffic out there, people coming in and out, and also you can sort of move around and really they're sort of more active at night. But you catch them, but the big thing is catching them on an outgoing tide. You can be at the Destin Bridge, the Hathaway Bridge, or Panhandle, all the way down. Any bridges where you got the flow going out at night, you know, they're sitting there with the mouth open. And here's a picture here to verify what we're talking about. Got a good, here, Brian Paul, got a couple good ones last night. You know, and you think about it, you don't need a big old fancy boat. Brian just got a good old simple boat like that. I love a boat like that. And just get out there and catch them. Here it is right there. You can see the thing about it now, it's lit up. You feel like you're at a nightclub or something when you're out there. But that's cool. Okay. Now, last week's fishing report, I talked about Burnt Mill Creek. I don't know if they're listening to it or not. These are some kayakers out there. And now, the thing about them, they're not really big. Most of them not going to make slot. But it's called kayak fishing at Burnt Mill. I've done it quite a few times. It's very peaceable. Okay? There's another one here. And Before I get to that, let me quickly give you the term. When I use the word peaceable, it's been a family tradition of ours. I'm going to talk a lot today. Family tradition. When one of my kids were little, they were, I don't know, 7, 6, maybe not that big. We bought our property out there in Southport on North Bay, and it was wooded, and we had to work our way down to the water. And the first time we took the kids, walked down there, and it was just one of those Sunday afternoons after church kind of quietness, and Wendy was about this high, and she looked around, and her first words, "This is so peaceable." So peaceable has been a big word in the outdoors to us, to our family. So that's why I used that term a while ago. Instead of peaceful, it's peaceable. I thought you'd enjoy it. It big right here. Here's what I'm talking about right here. This is the Chipotle. Now what's cool about this? This is October 9th, 2018. Remember the hurricane on October 11th came, 24 hours after this picture was taken. Okay, this is going to be the same angle. I'm going to show you a series of pictures because it is so testimonial as what nature can do. Okay, so that's the day before. Now look, same angle. Do you think that look at there? I mean, look. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Look at that one, and then look at this one. Now you don't think the hurricane just tore up our woods and all in the Florida Panhandle? Okay, same angle now. Starts growing back. Is that not cool? Okay, you got 3 angles. This is what, 5 years later? But see how nature, the leaves, the trees and all, and it's back like that. So I've noticed this on my property, how the trees have sort of outgrown the old fallen down trees. Looks really good. Adam McCutcheon sent this to me. I fished Wimico Saturday and it was full of dead catfish. Have you received any feedback? And at that time, I was going to tell you, at that time I had not received any feedback from Wimico. Within 24 hours, I've got this video from Alan Duke. Y'all know Captain Alan Duke. And I may show, it's a little fuzzy and all, but it just shows dead catfish all over Lake Wimico. And dead, all kind of fish there. And that, I got to thinking, red tide in Wimico, that's not good. And I hate that it's reached up in that area. And we're talking about bass fishermen. They have bass tournaments and all, so I don't know about, the people discuss this on that thread about releasing those bass you catch. And if you catch them up the river and come out of White City for the landing, and a lot of times they release them there. I don't know about if that's a good idea or not, but I don't know the solution to it, but it's just something that we need to be aware of. I was really surprised. I get a throwback picture every now and then of one of my trips to Venice with Nat Harris, and that's a lot of fun. That goes every year, invited me to go. I'm going to try to squeeze some time in. The fishing capital of the world. Okay, we're talking about the new FWC rule on the lane snapper. Remember, we're talking about, let me blow this up right here. We're going to go from, the minimum size is going to go from 8 inches to 10 inches. I've talked about this. And there's going to be a limit of 20 per person. But they want to know when it's going into effect, and it's right here. It's going to be 2026 on April the 1st is when that law will come into effect, April the 1st, okay? And all right, so let's go and take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Hope you're getting ready for a big weekend in the outdoors. It's going to be some great weather, great tides, and just a really good time. It's hard to believe we're at Thanksgiving next week, and I don't know about you, but the turkeys, they're on sale, and it's amazing how they disappear. But anyway, I'm looking forward to having a big Thanksgiving like a lot of y'all are. Okay, I'm going to start. I always try to give a warning to these husbands, because I know as outdoorsmen we face a lot of challenges that these non-outdoor guys face. But here's one. I'll just give you this warning here. Okay, be very careful buying things on Amazon Prime. I bought my wife some shoes, and they sent me a fishing rod. Okay, all right, y'all got that, Steve Rogers? Look, Mitch Coleman sent this to me. Mitch, this red snapper fishing is going strong, okay? He said last Saturday, we were going 2 hours, dock to dock. The small fish on the table was 17 inches, and we're fishing in 63 feet of water. Here they are right here. Now, is that going out for 2 hours from dock to dock, getting a good meal right there? Look at there. Now that's some fun fishing this time of year. That's great. Big thing about it, not any crowds out there. Okay, so let me go back. I'm gonna start back up here to talking about crowds and everything. Okay, here we go. They were doing some FWC. Let's jump on FWC. They're doing some electrofishing survey when you do the surveys and all. And anyway, they came across an alligator snapping turtle trapped in an old unattended trot line. Folks, we're better than that. We're leaving out the trot lines. But anyway, the turtle was deemed releasable and only has minor injuries. So this is preventable. But anyway, I'll show you the picture. Okay, you can see he's caught. His tail is caught up in there and just couldn't not get out. He would have died if the FWC folks had not get in there. And that's an old trot line. And like I say, we're better than that. We as outdoorsmen, we take care of it. Here we are. See, Does that look familiar? Checking the old trot line. That's a pretty good sized snapping turtle. And to me, that'd be the fun part of being an FWC officer, catching and releasing these guys right here. Now, you don't want to get your hand too close there. Okay. Mike McLaughlin, I'm going to show this. Mike is a principal over there in North Bay Haven. He was talking about November 17th. He's from Michigan, and he was talking about this right here. What's good about it, he was talking about, I've heard this before from some of the guys up that area, and Wisconsin and Michigan especially, when deer season opens up, they close the schools that first couple of days, that first week of deer season. It's just a historical thing they've done as part of their heritage and tradition, especially in the smaller towns in Michigan and Wisconsin, smaller counties. And Michael was talking about that. And he's a great outdoorsman, and what he's done, he's been down here a good while now. He's at North Bay Haven, but he and I talked about, he started a little fishing. He's tried to get outdoor and everything going, and he's got some of that going, but they have some challenges. But he's got this fishing tournament going right here, North Bay Haven Fishing Club. It's a tournament, so he's got all kind of names on here. Let's see, I hate to call out names, but I don't want to leave anybody out. But anyway, I'm just going to show you the pictures. This is up here at the, let's see. Let me go back. I got it down here, Jeff. Let me go back to it. Let me find it. Let's see. That's the Mosley Bass Tournament. All right, here we go right here. Here we go right here. Look at the kids right here. Check that out. Is that not cool? I'm just going to go through it pretty fast. I want you to look. They got little medals and trophies. Look at these girls. Look at these boys. You don't think they had a great time? And you see while they're fishing. Okay, that's up at Lynn Haven. Just look at there. That's Mike. Good job, Mike. Look at here. They're fishing out of a boat too. I'd love to see the flounder. You had to catch and release that flounder. I just thought I got a kick out of this. Kayak fishing, all kinds of different categories, and just that's really cool stuff. Okay, there's the old Lynn Haven Bridge. I'm so glad we're talking about that bridge, and so glad the city kept that bridge right there. Okay, so right here, this is Gene's Oyster Bar. This is that new dining room I was talking about. They've added on to the oyster bar. So now this is the second oyster bar plus tables and chairs. You can just sit down there at a table if you want to. Really nice. And Gail and I have been over there. In fact, when they opened it up, we went and got some. But anyway, so let's see. I wanted to, let me get back up here where it was. The big thing on, let me see, we're right here. I got to show this picture here because Jerry Forehand sent this. Okay, remember he was on the show. Right after he was on the show, he actually went, let me see. I remember reading it right here. Last Saturday's first day hunting season. This was my first day hunting this year on the Apalachicola River at Weewall. I went scouting by boat and ended up harvesting a nice doe. It's the first kill with my new crossbow. So he's really basically out there scouting around. And these crossbows, folks, they've made so much progress. There it is right there. Got a little cart to roll them on, and good. These crossbows just fascinate me as far as they're into the power they have and the accuracy they have. It's been really something. Let me see. I've got all kinds of stuff to show you. Okay, I want to show you that. Let's jump into a couple more pictures real quick. Okay, this we're talking about pythons down in the Everglades, catching these pythons. Well, this python is spread up here to Charlotte County. I've been following this, and they're spreading, and this little stories about it. So look at the size of this Burmese python, captured and killed in Rotunda West, which is part of Charlotte County, and it's a sign that these snakes are moving out of the Everglades north. And we're going to have them in Bay County probably 2 years. I'm just saying that, we're just kidding, but this is look at the size of that, and you say, well, that's never going to happen. But the thing about it, they didn't think it was going to happen in the Everglades either. Okay, this kind of weather, I always get fascinated with just seeing the bird life, and there's a group, all kind of birding groups in every community we have. And this one was out at St. Joe, and of course they got a lot of places to go down there. And here's a picture. This is right here near Indian Pass. Is that not a great close-up picture? You think those? That's where you get the term eagle eyes. That's what we're talking about right there. So, birding Port St. Joe. All right, so that's going to wrap up the pictures, I think. Let me see. Well, let me show one more. Okay, let me show this Monday because I want to get it blown up and get it set up right now. So anyway, it's the amount of feedback we get, it just fascinates me every week. I look back on the week and the pictures I've shown, and I just it's really testimonials of what all is going on in this area, except for the python. We don't want it going on. All right, well, I was going to end this segment with our drawing, and Gene's Oyster Bar always gives away a free mullet plate, and if you're like me, you want to get some oysters while you're over there too. So this is a great time of year for oysters. Okay, so the winter. Gene's Oyster, we're about, now remember, I was saying about this the other day, when January comes, we got everybody, put your name back in here. We've got, can y'all see all these right here? These are all the winners we've had. So if you win, I'll keep it out. Anyway, let's get back to it. The winner, big mullet plate from Panama City, D.W. Jacobs. All right, D.W. All right, the $20 gift certificate from Top and Dock Seafood. They don't know those boats on a regular basis. It's fun. From Ponce de Leon, Amy Bugs. And a big red snapper is going to, from Panama City, Ruth Thibodeau. Okay, the Thibodeau family. Norman, I think you just had a birthday this week. Happy birthday. Okay, now I know y'all don't need that snapper. I know y'all got a freezer full, but I know you're going to enjoy it. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with our famous Friday fishing forecast. Okay, welcome back, and welcome to our famous Friday fishing forecast, brought to us by Jessica Ling Insurance and Financial. And by the way, I ran by her office this week, and they're doing so good, and she's such a joyful, outgoing person. She's gonna come on the show maybe next week or the week after. We're gonna come on the show, and just good folks there, and proud to have them as our sponsor. So getting started, I just want to briefly talk about, this is Pensacola Bay, and that's out of our viewing area, but we're so fortunate to have, our fishing is so much better than the folks over in Pensacola. I know some folks over there, they don't have near the fishing we have in Choctawhatchee Bay, on eastward from Choctawhatchee Bay. Speaking of Choctawhatchee Bay, if you look at it, I haven't gotten a lot of reports over there. JB, I hadn't heard anything from him this week. I'm assuming they're still catching a good amount of fish, but the best way to fish over there, you can fish along these bridges here, and then back up in this area here. I'm going to zoom in on some of this. See all these docks here. I've talked about dog fishing in the wintertime is really good. See all these docks here? And there used to be no docks there, and now it's full of them. So go ahead and plan on dock fishing. Our freshwater guys will talk all the time about structure fishing. Let's come on down to Intercoastal and come on down into West Bay. The West Bay Bridge is sort of it has a lot of fish at the West Bay Bridge, but we don't. A lot of people don't fish it, but there's always some good fishing there, and the traffic slowed down here in the winter times. The West Bay Bridge is really a good place. Last week I mentioned Burnt Mill Creek and Crooked Creek. Again, these are good places to fish, kayaking, shallow water. And it's going to be shallow with these low tides in the wintertime coming up. And I marvel at this housing development right here. It used to be all woods. Okay, here's Crooked Creek right here, and it's coming out. It's really a good place to go. Okay, and of course Burnt Mill is down in here. And again, you got to follow that channel. If you're going out, you got to follow the channel all the way out. Coming over here to West Bay Point, all this area right in here. This I know with Bill and Greg and Mark Coward and I would always just start fishing here, work our way along the shoreline. Sometimes if the wind's blowing out of the south, we'd come back on this shoreline here. Captain Roy loved fishing this area right here. That's one of his favorite places. Of course, he grew up there. Okay, quickly, St. Andrew Bay. Moving on into East Bay. I don't talk enough about East Bay. There's a lot of fish in East Bay. Sandy Creek, up in this area right in here. We used to Stan in Georgia, Stan Cooper. We used to fish right up in this area right in here. Stan and Georgia are great fisher people. And then jumping into I want to go to Lake Wimico. Again, that fish kill is in Lake Wimico. I didn't show you the video. Adam Duke sent me that video. He's stopping the thing. Look at this right here. How does a red tide get in that position right there geographically? To me, it tells me it's got to be in the intercoastal. It's got to come through the intercoastal. So there's got to be some fish kills in there. And of course, here's White City. And I haven't heard of any. And then it's connecting canal right here. So it could be coming out of the bay. And, you know, there's a drive right now. It's been going on a while about, actually, the St. Joe Bay Sabres, a lot of folks want to go ahead and seal that canal off. And, you know, the intercoastal was built in the 1920s, and talking about it's still leaving the intercoastal, but all that fresh water pouring into the bay, that's another whole show. But anyway, we're doing a fishing report. I want to mention the fishing from the surf. They caught some pompano this past week, still to the west. We have some really big pompano caught to the west of us. I haven't got a lot of local reports. I may try to go in the morning. I'm going to try to squeeze in some time, but it's been pretty strong in that area. Real quick, Apalachicola Bay, the river so low, we're talking about salinity of the bay. It's creeping up. You got to go more north fishing in those flat areas, and the red fishing is really good. I've written down about how good the red fishing is, and again, Gold Spoon is as simple as that. You can catch them on Gold Spoon. Let's see, I talked about we caught some tuna off the pier early part of the week. Again, the migratory route, the whiting is just starting. I saw somebody fried up some whiting this past week off of St. George Island. So that's all good news and all. So anyway, the weather's perfect. You got Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of people go to the woods, which means it's less crowded on the water. So it's something you can really look forward to. So we're going to have to wrap it up for the week. It's been a good week. Next week's going to be a good week. I have a couple of guests coming in, some good video, and getting ready to smoke those turkeys. So anyway, you have a great weekend. Do something good for someone else. Enjoy the outdoors, and let's take care of it, and may God bless you.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.